Some of these idols that people tend to look up to are witches, Satanists, and demon-possessed.
Is the top earning woman in music. She makes around $105 million, or at least she did last year. So along with all those riches, fame also brings bizarre allegations, like the lady who went to court accusing Beyonce of practicing extreme witchcraft.
Beyonce sure can cast a spell with her performances. But is she also practicing witchcraft? In head-scratching court papers, Kimberly Thompson, a former drummer for the singer's all-girl band, is accusing Beyonce of, get this, extreme witchcraft and magic spells and the murder of my pet cat. She's actually filed a restraining order against the star.
Afro-Caribbean paint, like a white and black paint, and black out my eyes, so I look like this sort of Afro-Caribbean voodoo icon. And then I would sew in bits of Egyptian artifacts that were thousands of years old into my costume and gather some onyx or tourmaline or something that was meant to have vibrations. And who knows if it works or doesn't, but for me it was an idea of like trying to stimulate my mind or trick my mind into believing I was this character from another dimension. And I would walk on the set and then wouldn't speak to anybody, wouldn't say a word, so I projected this aura of horror, which created fear in my fellow actors, which then inspired me to believe I really was this character.
In America, evil has become good and good has become evil, because mankind has chose to rebel against the words of the Most High. There should not be found among you anyone who burns his son or his daughter as an offering, anyone who practices divination or tells fortunes or interprets omens, or a sorcerer engaging in witchcraft or casting spells, or a charmer, or a medium, or a necromancer, or one who inquires of the dead. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Most High. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 10 through 12. So-called Christians have ignored the warnings of the Most High and have become active participants in the works of darkness. How did we get to the point that Christians allow their children to dress as a witch and defending it as being only innocent and adorable? Does the Most High find this to be an innocent act and adorable? How did we get to the point that witchcraft has become sweet and innocent instead of dark and evil? It is because we consume witchcraft out of our own ignorance. We reject the words of the Most High to become like the rest of the world. And the reason I'm saying we is because I'm not going to be a hypocrite about it. I grew up watching these same things and celebrating Halloween like everyone else. I was walking in the spirit of rebellion just like King Saul was in the book of Samuel. There are negative consequences for believers rebelling against the word of the Most High. In Saul's situation, he became angrier and he became more wicked. Saul's rebellion allowed doors to open for an evil spirit to come in and possess him. He began to indulge in things that went against the word of the Most High. Instead of seeking guidance from the Most High, he went out there seeking the dead. Ultimately, this downward spiral led to Saul's death. But it all started out as him doing things that he thought was right in his own heart and mind, rather than doing the will of the Most High. Today, many who call themselves Christians are walking in the footsteps of King Saul. This world is under the spell of white magic. They believe that good things can come out of engaging in supernatural activity outside of being guided by the Most High. They also believe that since the opposite of white magic, which is black magic, is so obviously evil and socially unacceptable, that white magic is the better option of the two. But the words of the Most High say that there are no difference between black magic and white magic. They all come from the same source, and they all are an abomination to the Most High. But instead of avoiding these things altogether, believers pick and choose what is the less harmful of all these things.
We're there. I think we're more spiritual. I think we really believe in like the afterlife and heaven and just really spiritual.
Yeah.
And my whole family is. And we just live our lives like that. We just try to be good people and respect other people and be kind.
Well, that's a Christian.
And that is, yeah, like
Bali, and a woman, a blind medium, came up to me and said that I was going to have another son and it was going to be my father reincarnated. And she had no idea that no one knew, no one on my crew, no one knew that I had a surrogate that was pregnant with a boy.
awesome. Guys, we had the best reading. The Long Island medium is in Calabasas. Can you believe this? She's at my house.
The dark side of the supernatural world manifests itself in this world through magic. Occultists want people to believe that it is just sweet and innocent, so more people are open to being initiated, but it is not a game. Real witches and occultists don't just play dress up. It is not a game or some fantasy. They perform real rituals, spells, curses, and summon up real demons. Even the real witches of today openly reveal their darkness for the entire world to see as art because they are comfortable because we become so desensitized to what evil is. All the movies and video games has made light of something that should be taken very seriously.
And so during that time, I was connected with some girls, and I remember going to a sleepover, and they watched a movie called The Craft. And this movie came out around 1996, and it was about 4 witches who were in high school. And these witches were bullied and picked on, and their lives were kind of messed up, and they used witchcraft to control situations around them and to get what they wanted. I watched the movie, and I thought, I want that. Well, of course, in the movie, they went too far anyway, and the witchcraft had turned against them, and the girls were desperate to get out of it. But during that point, I didn't even see that ending. I just thought, oh, I won't go that far. I'm just going to be innocent in it. And I began to study the religion of Wiccan and study different spells and incantations and New Age practices and occult practices that I was doing in a Christian home that nobody knew I was doing. And so what started off as something innocent where I'm just connecting with energy and the universe and vibes and all these innocent things that we see took me down a path of just dark desperation. I felt at one point that I was living in like a haunted house because I was hearing scratches on the wall right next to me. I would feel a brush by me and be terrified that somebody is here in the room with me. Someone's watching me. I've always felt like I was being watched. When I would wash my face for the day, it was one of the most terrifying things that I did. When I took a shower and I had to close my eyes, I was so terrified. If I had to get up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water, I would run because I thought something's going to grab my feet. I was an adult at this point, and it took me far into drugs. I ended up being homeless and on drugs, in and out of jails and all kinds of things. For 9 years of my life, I was really in a dark place.
The artist Lana Del Rey openly admitted that she joined a group of witches to place a spell on Donald Trump to silence him. And when asked about it, she said, "Yeah, I did it. Why not? Look, I do a lot of shit. I really do believe that words are one of the last forms of magic, and I'm a bit of mystic at heart." The magic and ritual of today traces back to ancient Egypt. They also perform actual signs and wonders. When humans get involved with the occult, it is actual spiritual forces such as angels and demons that is doing the work. This is why Pharaoh and the Egyptians were unfazed when Moses was showing miracles and wonders from the Most High. They were able to do the exact same things by their witchcraft. Exodus chapter 7 verse 11, but Pharaoh called the wise men and sorcerers and magicians of Egypt, and they also did the same things by their magic arts. So Pharaoh's heart remained hardened, and he would not listen to them, as Yahuwah had said. But again, the magicians of Egypt used their magic, and they too turned water into blood. So Pharaoh's heart remained hard. If you aren't applying the word of the Most High into your life, Satan does not care that you call yourself a Christian. As long as you're following along with the rest of the world, he will assimilate you into his agenda. So it's important to be fully aware of what Satan has planned for this world.